Hey there, folks. Today we're going to talk about this M&P. This is a 2.0. This is the one I've been shooting and showing on the channel for the last little while. Now, something is different about it this time. We look real close. It has gotten trigger surgery. It's gone to Mr. Park, and he's installed the drop-in Apex trigger kit, and I think all the lightest springs in there. Now, I was hesitant to do this. I was. I like to shoot the gun a lot without changing anything and kind of get my impressions that way. But there was a couple of issues. First, over the course of, I mean, it was a few thousand rounds. It wasn't nothing that I shot the gun, but with the factory trigger setup on this thing, I just don't like it. It's difficult to use really, really well. I mean, it's effective for what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can carry it around and you're probably not going to have an accident and all of that, but it's not a super shootable trigger. And on the other hand, I've seen plenty of M&P setups come through my classes. A bunch of them use this trigger. I've seen it a bunch. Apex triggers are, generally very good across a number of brands. However, on the M&P one, like this seems like just a different level. You can see it, takes up a little bit. There's a wall, press through, it breaks, not too much over travel. It's just a really nice trigger. Um, and it works pretty well. I haven't seen there be issues with them. It's just the stock trigger is struggle bus for me and anyone else, I would imagine. And I knew what was waiting for me with the Apex. So I kind of was like, I don't want to shoot the whole 10,000 rounds. Just give me the Apex. So that's what we ended up doing. And now the gun is back. And I pulled it out during class yesterday and like I shot with it in the afternoon. No problems. The trigger is, I mean, it's just like I said, it's got really, really nice properties. It does feel safe. It has a safety dingus on it. It's not excessively light or anything. It doesn't make me feel nervous. I have the safety anyway. So it's like, to me, I really like this trigger setup. I feel very comfortable with it. So there it is. I'm going to be testing it. The one kind of question that I have about it is longevity. So if you put in a trigger like this and lighten springs and stuff like that, you're doing all those things, eventually it's going to stop popping primers, probably. That's usually what happens. So will it be, 10, 20, 30,000 rounds? How long will it go before that starts happening? That's really the question for me. But aside from that, I do really, really like this trigger. On the flip side, it also tells you kind of how much I dislike the stock trigger because I can suffer through a lot. I really can. But the stock trigger on this thing, I'm just like, no, I really don't like it. All right, let's go through your comments that you guys left for me. Because I put up a picture of this on Instagram. Let's go through it and talk about it. One guy says, game changer, love mine. Yeah, I think so. The most underappreciated and underrated platform on the market. Yeah, maybe so. Super curious to hear your thoughts. Been considering getting one for mine. Can't decide on if it's worth it. Um, yeah, it's worth it. It really is. I mean, depending on what you're using the gun for, but if you have it, it's like a training gun. You want to burn down drills and stuff like that. The triggers, it is night and day, the difference. Night and day. All right, it won't disappoint. That's good. Shooting my M&P 2.0 tomorrow for the first time. Have done a bunch of dry fire, and trigger doesn't feel bad to me. Okay, good. God's chosen pistol. Maybe. I don't think so. It's not impossible. Best striker fired setup on the market. Changed my mind. Um, like this trigger system, like the Apex and the M&P, the way that it sits, it wouldn't you could say it's the best one on the market. And I'm sure people would argue with you, but it wouldn't be a super bad choice if you wanted to have that argument. All right, very interested to see what might fail at a very high round count, particularly life of the striker spring, which seems to be the only real issue that is a possibility with some M&Ps. Well, no, it's going to happen, especially you start lightening stuff up. and eventually it just won't want to pop certain primers. Um, like shooting military ammo or frangible ammo through my Glocks, like it's like lead-free primers in the frange. It needs a heavier striker spring. I have guns where I mean, they get shot tens of thousands of rounds sometimes, and I shoot Blazer with it all day long, no problem. And then I start running like mil ammo through it, and it'll light strike every 40 rounds or something. And it's like, okay, I need a new striker spring. So eventually that's just it's the physics of it. That's going to happen. Um, Looks like your Talon grips are getting a wrinkle in them. Peeled my set off and about to attempt a silicone carbide job. Yeah, I have a wrinkle in mine. I in no way really care, so I'm gonna keep on rocking them just like they are. I had no interest in these since I already own a decent full-size striker fired gun, but I'm not gonna lie, it sure is sexy. Way sexier than my Glock 17. All right, don't be surprised if he says it's better than a Glock. I own Glock, lots of them. The Smith just feels better in the hands. To me, I prefer the Glock grip. Like it's it's more square and more flat. It's kind of easier to get my hands on it. The shape of this is more irregular, so it's like I don't know, the way it's bulges in weird spots. I do not prefer this grip to the Glock grip at all. Once the gun's in my hand, and I'm gripping it properly, it feels fine, but it's kind of getting on it quickly. I don't really like. All right. Let's see what else we got. Apex barrel next. Yeah, that's what guys are saying. And based on my experience shooting the gun, it could probably benefit from that. All right. Combine that Apex with the Agency Arms trigger shoe and you'll have pure gold. Why do I need the Agency shoe? What's wrong with this shoe? What am I missing? Oh, I like the shoe. I'm going to go with that. I'm sticking with it. I like the shoe. Apex in a Smith or PDP dynamic trigger? Oh, that's a really good question. And I was having this discussion with Joel yesterday. So I like the feel of this trigger better. I don't know that the shoe itself doesn't feel as chintzy as the PDP performance triggers. The brake on this is slightly heavier, which I don't think is a bad thing. And it feels like a stronger reset to me. I think I prefer this to the PDP dynamic trigger. I would need them side by side, I think, but I think I like this one better. All right, good enough for now. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this setup. Apex barrel, yes, no. We'll keep going with it. Anyway, that's it for me.